Hi, it's Tuesday, May the 3rd, and this is your daily devotion. So, our sermon and lesson this past Sunday was entitled Showing Wisdom and Knowledge as a part of living the resurrected life. So, in thinking about how do we get to the place where we are showing wisdom and knowledge, I read in Proverbs, one of the wisdom books of the Bible, and I read this particular proverb that immediately made me think of a story. So I'll read it. It's Proverbs 1:22 through 32. Now here, wisdom is being personified. It's wisdom that's speaking, and wisdom, as you will know, through the way the language is written, is always personified as a woman, which, seems right. So here we go. Proverbs 1:22 through 32. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? Give heed to my reproof. I will pour out my thoughts to you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called and you refused, and stretched out my hand, and no one heeded, and because you have ignored all my counsel, and would have none of my reproof, I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when panic strikes you. When panic strikes you like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would have none of my counsel, and despised all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and be sated with their own devices. For waywardness kills the simple, and the complacency of fools destroys them. Wisdom is a little snarky in this proverb. It's like, okay, I warned you. You made your bed, you can lie in it. That's one of our more modern day proverbs, right? You get what you deserve. It reminded me very much of a story that my mom has told many times, and I may have been there, but I don't remember it. When my mother was at a young mother in the church where we grew up, she always held, taught, and played for the children's choir. The children would all gather in this little room before Sunday school and learn their songs and learn how to sing the songs together, and my mother would be in charge of that. Well, one of the students there was Tommy. That is not just euphemistically little Tommy, that was his name. He's my cousin, and he was a handful. He could not be still. He could not bear the limits imposed upon him, and he could not keep all four of his chair legs on the ground. And my mother would say, Tommy, keep your chair, all four legs on the ground. And he would lean back on the two, and he'd have his feet up on the chair in front of him. And, again and again and again, teachers, moms, what I'm talking about. The kid that just can't do it, can't be still. And finally, she was so exasperated, she said, Tommy, when you fall flat, your chair slips out from under you, and you fall flat on the floor, I'm not going to pick you up. Tommy went home and told his mom what she had said, and then he added, isn't that a terrible thing for a Jesus teacher to say? Of course, Tommy's mom went back and told my mom, and they laughed about it. But, Tommy had his expectations of how a Jesus teacher should act, and saying, I'm not going to pick you up off the floor wasn't part of it. Well, I thought of that when I read about wisdom saying, you don't listen to me, you're going to pay for it, and I'm just going to laugh at you. Sometimes we are learning wisdom. Sometimes we are attempting to teach wisdom. But you know, most of the time we're doing both at the same time. My mother was in the teaching role, but Tommy was teaching her about patience. Tommy was in the learning role, but you know, he was also teaching my mom about unconditional love and about perseverance and patience. And about his expectations of, you know, how compassionate a Jesus teacher should be. Well, if Tommy had fallen on the floor, he would have also been teaching the other children about what happens when you can't stay in safe limits. That would have been a hard lesson. Maybe Tommy would have learned too. I hope he would have. But it's not easy to become wise. It's not easy to gain knowledge. How do we learn then to live resurrected lives? Well, as the sermon and the children's sermon as well that Bobby offered last Sunday suggests, practice. Of course, we have the loving, ever-present words and life and living presence of Jesus as our teacher. And that presence within us is going to help us moment by moment. We also have our own trial and errors. And sometimes I think we learn more from our errors than we do from our successes. We have teachers everywhere, those that are intending to teach us, and very often those who are teaching us who had not intended to, because we're learning. Hopefully we can learn from the mistakes of others. Hopefully we don't have to make all the mistakes ourselves. There was a song that my mother taught in that particular little morning choir time, and she would sing it often to us when she was singing us to sleep. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. For the Father up above is looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. And then little feet, where you go. Little mouth, what you say. Little eyes, what you see. Little ears, what you hear. Be careful. God is watching. Not only God, though, others are watching and learning, whether we intend for them to or not. So today, may we learn, listen, watch, pray, live, and gain a little wisdom and knowledge. Let's be open to that. His wisdom is always there for us. And maybe we can teach some in the process. Somebody's watching. And if we fall flat on our face, well, hopefully we'll learn from that as well. And maybe others too. The good news is God's grace is sufficient for all our trials and all our errors, especially our errors. That's why we need the grace to begin with. Thanks be to God. Have a good day.